Okay, if you're watching this video, you are now in my workshop, and what we're going to do today is just give you a chance to work on your homework. Some of you had me yesterday, and therefore it's possible you've already done this homework, so this is just a chance to make sure you did it correctly. Others of you will have me after lunch, and this is your chance to have your homework done for tonight. But in general, what I'm asking you to do is to read the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou, and then follow two-step directions. The first step is to read the poem and then circle the subjects, underline the verbs, and box the objects. And then the second step is on the left side of the poem, summarize the poem. For those of you who don't know, or those of you who need a reminder, a verb is any action that happens. A subject is a noun that is doing that action, and an object is the noun that is receiving that action. If you need a reminder of this, you have notes about this on the back of your handout. What I'm going to do for you today is just I'm going to work through the first two stanzas of the poem and model what I expect to see from you. All right, the first thing I'm going to say is, so you don't forget to do it, write summary at the top left of the page. And then to help yourself stay organized with your summaries, I would draw a line in between each of your stanzas. And I'm going to suggest that you pause your video right now and do this so that you don't forget to do it later. Okay, now that we're ready to go, we're looking at just this first stanza. The first thing you should do is read the entire stanza in its entirety, which reads, "You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise." All right, and my first thing I would tell you to do is take the stanza and identify every verb that is in it. A quick trick for trying to identify verbs: if I ask you the question, "What did you do?" you should be able to answer it with a verb. So if you're starting with, "You may write me down in history," and I ask, "What did you do?" you can't answer me with, "I may." However, you could answer me with, "I write," which makes write our first verb. But we're going to keep going. "You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise." So again, we're looking for actions here, other verbs. With your bitter, twisted lies, there's no action there. You may trod me in the very dirt. Trod is an action there, and I'll tell you, trod actually means walk. And finally, we have, "but still, like dust, I'll rise." And just like if I ask you, well, what did you do? You can say, I rose or I rise, making rise a verb. Okay, now that we've identified our actions, the next step that you need to take is pick out your subjects. But a subject is just the person or the thing doing the action. So you start off with write, and you say, well, who writes? And you figure out, well, you writes. So you're going to underline you. Nope, you're going to circle you. After that, you're going to keep going, and you're going to say, fine, right, my next one is trod. If trod is the action, again, that means walked. Who's walking? Oh, again, it's you. So you are circling you again. And then finally, the last verb is rise. Who's rising? But still, like dust, I'll rise. It's I here. All right, and you're circling I. Now your last step is the object. Again, an object is something that receives an action. So you start off with here. You say, well, the action is write. It's you writing. But, well, what are you writing about, or who are you writing to? You may write me down in history. Oh, you're writing about me. So you put me in a box. With your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. All right, you may walk. Where may you walk, or who may you walk? You may trod me. Again, he's talking about me. And finally, we come to the last line, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Where or who do you rise? And there isn't an answer to that question because you don't have an object. So now you've taken the first stanza. You've picked out all of the actions and all the people doing the actions and who they're doing them to. So now you need to summarize it in one sentence. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. What's being said here? You can lie about me in history, walk all over me, but still I'll rise. Okay, take a second, pause your video, make sure you have everything that is on this page written down. Okay, if you feel comfortable, you should go on and start the rest of this poem on your own. But if you're not comfortable and you want more practice, I'm going to do the second stanza right now. So the second stanza reads, "Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room?" Okay, so we're starting here. Does my sassiness upset you? We're looking for verbs. Does is a verb. What did you do? Do is part of this word. Does my sassiness upset you? Upset is also an action. Why do I keep circling these? We're underlining. Why are you beset with gloom? You probably don't know what the word beset means, but it is a verb. And I'll tell you, beset means like put off or sad or acting like. Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. I walk is an action. What did you do? I walked. Like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. And pumping is, what did you do? I pumped. Okay. Does my sassiness upset you? All right, and this is tricky because you have a question here. But if you're asking, who is doing the upsetting? Oh, okay, that makes your subject, the thing doing the action, it's sassiness, or my sassiness. Okay. And what is the sassiness doing? This is your object. So you ask, okay, my sassiness, what is my sassiness doing? My sassiness is upsetting. Well, who is my sassiness upsetting? You. And because you is the thing being upset, it's receiving the action, it becomes your object. Why are you beset with gloom? And again, beset is like put off. So who is being put off? Oh, that's you. And who is you beset with or by? Gloom. And again, if you don't know, gloom is sadness. Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Okay, because I walk. Who's doing the walking? I. Alright? I is walking. Where is I walking to? Nope, you don't have it. You don't know where I is walking, but you do have, they're walking like something. So she's being compared to something. What is she being compared to? Oil wells pumping in my living room. Okay. Well, if pumping is an action, what's doing the pumping? The oil wells. So you're circling oil wells, and oil wells are pumping. Well, where or who are the oil wells pumping? Oh, in my living room. And that's a weird little line, and we'll talk about that in our inferences, but that's next class. Today we're working on summary. So now you have all this again, you have to think yourself through. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Alright, and she's asking questions here, but does my attitude upset you? Why are you mad? Is it because of the way I walk? Alright, and you, like me, are probably going to run out of room, so learn from my mistakes and make sure that when you write super small. At this point, though, I feel confident that you are clear on what the expectations are. So you and your partner should be working on summarizing this entire poem. And as you summarize the poem, I expect to see you identifying objects, subjects, and verbs. If you need a reminder, those definitions are on the back here on this page. And I also expect to see your summary going all the way down the page. All right, I'll be walking around the room if you have any questions.